Hello and welcome back. As I showed you in the last video, we are displaying now the data getting from OpenWeatherMap into our HTML page. But remember that I told you if I didn't have my dummy data displaying first, then my application would throw an error. And that's because my HTML page is being rendered before I get uh, my weather have any data in it, any values. So that's why we're getting cannot read property city name of undefined. So right now this is undefined as soon as the page is loaded. But if you notice here, I have my data. But the thing is, as I said earlier, my page loaded before I had the data. So what we have to do is we're going to create a promise. In order to create a promise, we're going to create a new service. So I'm going to generate one. Have to go to my terminal. I'm going to use ng for generate service, and I'm going to call it resolve location, and I don't want the spec.ts for testing. So we'll hit enter. Let's wait. Okay, perfect. So let's close this so it's not as distracting. Uh, so I forgot to tell you why we need to we have to import this into our module. Why we need to do this is to the Angular that we're going to be using this globally in all of our applications. So we're going to go to the module. We're going to import this. And now we have to give it its direction, and it's in this solve. I have it over here. Application.service. Okay. Now we need to provide this. We're going to go to our array, provider array, and this is good. Okay. So in here, we're going to call our service, our weather service, type weather service. Obviously, we have to inject this. Import weather service. Okay, excellent. And why I created this new service is because in this one we're going to implement resolve, and this is going to be of type any. So what we're telling this is this is going to help us resolve our request before our page is loaded. And here we have to import resolve from Angular router. Perfect. And in here we're going to have the resolve method. Here we're going to return this WS, and we're going to use the local weather. So this, yeah, local weather. Oh, local weather, and but this is going to be a little different because in this one we're not going to be passing our latitude and longitude parameters. Actually, we're going to change our um, our local weather service. What we're going to do now is we're going to return a new promise, and promises take two parameters, either resolve or reject. And then here we're going to pass a new function using the arrow function, and we're going to uh, declare a new property. It's going to be called location. So our location here is so here is where we're going to do the whole navigator and get our coordinates. And here we're going to do the callback function. And we're going to have this location again to be equal out position dot coords. Now we have to create again the constants for lat. This is going to be this location that latitude. Yeah, and for long it's going to be this location that longitude. So far everything is the same, right? But what we have here in our component is after that we're gonna call our local weather service, but we don't have to do that anymore. Because what we're gonna do is here we're going to return this HTTP that get method, and we're going to use the URL that we use over here. Oh, sorry, we don't have. We're going to use our URL, which was this whole thing, and I'm going to use backticks, single quotes. We change this for API. The value of lat is going to be whatever you get from our method get current position. Same with our longitude, and our key is going to be the one that we get from our account. Remember, you have to go to API keys. And then we have to pass our units, and that's going to be imperial, so we have Fahrenheit. Okay. Yeah, and then we have to map this, and here we kind of have a response of type response. So do that. And now we're going to have a response type response. And here we're going to have a response.json. So far, this looks pretty similar to what we had before. Now the change is that instead of sending this to our component so we can subscribe to it, we're gonna do a promise here. So we're gonna turn this to a promise in this method, and then we're gonna use the then method. Here we're gonna pass the data, use the arrow function, and here we can call this. Let's call this again my weather. Just like we did in our component. So this my weather is going to be a new weather, a new current weather. And here let's just copy what we had in our current component. I'm gonna have this. Perfect. So right now we almost have this, but we just need to use our resolve over here. So we're going to use res and this my weather. Okay, so we're almost done. Now our routing file is going to change a little. We're going to add a new property, and it's going to be called resolve. And what are we resolving? We are resolving our resolve location. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this here. We need to import this service, resolve service, from resolve location service. Okay, perfect. Now we need to change our component quite a bit. First, we're going to get rid of this. We will need this. We'll still need my current weather. We don't need anything from here. We don't need anything in ng on init. Awesome. Now we're going to change this, as I said, a little. We're going to need a new property in our constructor. This is going to be, we're going to add a route. We're going to give the class of activated route. This is something we need to import. And we have activated route. And we import this from Angular router. Oh. Okay, so now our page, now our ng and init is going to look different. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this route. We're gonna pass data, and we're gonna subscribe to data here. And our data is going to be, sorry. Go to our routing again. In our routing, we need to pass an object. I'm really sorry for this. In our routing, pass an object. We're gonna give it like my weather property, and here we and in here and this property is going to receive resolve location service. So let's go back to my component. Okay, this is in parentheses. And what we're going to have here is data and of type my weather, which is current weather type. Okay, so this is also an anonymous function. Now we're going to pass this my weather is going to be equal to data that my weather. Because it's an object. See, we're trying to navigate into this. Now this should be everything we need. So let's test it out. For now, let's get rid of the let's get rid of this. This is dummy data, we won't need it anymore. And we will use this method again. Service again. Now we save everything. And we refresh. Go faster. Okay. Perfect. Now I don't know why I'm getting this city. I don't know where Chula is. Let's console log data. Save it again. Interesting. So yeah, I'm getting that name. I don't know. I've never heard of this city before. That's weird. I didn't know. I don't even know what Chula is. Anyway, now why did I do this? Usually, when you build your application, you will build your service here. You're gonna get the HTTP here, but you're gonna start constructing or building your class, like my current weather, this property in your component. But I didn't. But I needed to do this in my service, so I wouldn't get that error again. And don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what many social media does, because if we go to LinkedIn, they have a loader, they have like a loading GIF before all the data loads into the page, and because if not, you would start getting like errors like the ones we had before, that it couldn't recognize something of undefined. It couldn't read a property of undefined. And so that's the reason we're doing this. For the next example, when I show you how to make requests for a different city, we're gonna build it the same way. With We're gonna build it the same way we did it before, where we would subscribe. We would only map our request in our service. We only get to here, and made the subscribe and building our class inside of our um, component .ts file. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or send me an email. My email is algp232@hotmail.com, or alvaro.gomez 901 at gmail.com. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Ciao.